Hey guys, it's HelpingHans here. Going to be doing a Soviet commander tier list. I haven't done one of these before. I did do an Austere tier list years ago, but I fancied doing a commander tier list for Soviets. And if this is also popular, I'll probably do one for OKW, Americans and Brits. Let's get straight into it then. So we're going to be rating these commanders based on how effective they are, not just in 1v1, but all the way up to 4v4 as well. So we need to be thinking at a commander and giving a fair evaluation of how it performs across all kind of game modes, and that'll be taken into consideration for where I'm placing it in this tier list. Right. So first up, we have Advanced Warfare Tactics over here. Now, what do we think, guys? Advanced Warfare Tactics. Do we like this? Any suggestions where this is going to go? So we've got Radio Intercept is a great ability in my opinion. It's a great for 1v1 all the way up to 4v4. I think it's one of the best abilities in the game actually, because it lets you know exactly when your opponent's building certain units, when they've teched up and stuff. It's kind of almost like you've got hacks in the game kind of thing. So I really like that. T-3485s are really good as well later on. Conscripts Assault Package. I guess you could go, you can go conscripts into PPSHs. That's okay, but it's not one of the best abilities. Conscripts with Repair Kit though. So if you're going for a conscript build, the PPSH package with the conscript repair kit kind of falls hand in hand there, which is kind of nice. Also, it says penal battalions can repair as well, so you can do it with penals. And then later on, you get the IL-2 Sturmovik attacks. The Sturmovik will loiter over the battlefield, strafing targets of opportunity with its powerful 23mm cannons. So overall, I would say this is a pretty decent commander. It has no recon, but Radio Intercept kind of gives you that intelligence anyway, which is quite good. It has an off-map loiter, which can be kind of good. It's not the best loiter, I don't think, but it's okay. So I'm thinking, for me, I'd probably put it... and then it hasn't got any really good late-game... T-35s are very good, but, like, we're talking about things like ISU 152s, which are really good. Things like that. It hasn't got any of that. So I'm probably going to place this probably in, like, something like A or B tier. No elite infantry either. So yeah, I think I'm going to probably pop it on a B tier for Advanced Warfare at the moment, and we'll see if we want to change that later on. Next up, we have the Airborne Troop Tactics. So this allows you to drop a weapon crate, and infantry that grab this get SVT rifles. Penal squads receive PPSH machine guns. That's pretty decent. Dishka's very nice. The airborne rally points as well, so you can reinforce from the front line, which is very good. The airborne guards are okay as well. I believe they come with machine guns and stuff. And then you've got the anti-tank rocket run, which is similar to like the P-47 like strafe that comes in as well, which is very nice. But overall, again, I'd say it's kind of a mid-tier commander. It's okay. Nothing crazy going on with it. It's pretty decent. You can use it in 1v1s all the way up to 4v4. But no real recon there. No good off-map, no kind of cooling tanks. I'd probably put this, probably also maybe in something like a B tier as well, I would say. Right, then we're on to Anti-Infantry Tactics. This is the guy with the smoke in the cigar. So this is KV-8. KV-8 is a great unit. I think it works in all game modes. It destroys infantry. It's one of the most expensive vehicles for fuel, 145 fuel. Advanced fortifications. Oh, actually, one other thing with the KV-8 is you don't have to wait for command points to unlock it. Once you've built tier 4, you just need the fuel and you can get it straight away, which is another big bonus for that. Advanced fortifications, vehicle blocking tank traps, bunkers, and the anti-personnel mines. They're pretty good, if I remember right, those personnel mines. And that all could be constructed by engineers. That's okay as an ability. It's pretty decent. You can kind of like lock the map down with that, potentially. Assault guards. They get a assaultment of Lend-Lease weaponry. I haven't used this commander in years, to be honest. But correct me if I'm wrong. I'm thinking these guys can get bazookas, right? I'm liking their bazookas and stuff. I think they can get. I think they can get Thompson's bazookas if I remember right, which makes them pretty good for infantry. Fear propaganda. That's a very good ability, I believe. Being able to drop that down to force the retreat of a machine gun or something is a very nice ability for sure. And then the incendiary artillery barrage again. Another area of denial ability. You kind of got two aerial denial abilities. The propaganda kind of forces retreat, and the incendiary makes units not want to push into the area, and it hurts the units. Kind of the same kind of ability. It's obviously not really, but it does this. It has the same kind of role in being like an area of denial. So that will probably bring it down for me. Incendiary artillery is okay. I would probably prefer like a nice bombing run to take out like an artillery piece. That brings it down for me, but I feel like overall it's probably something like an A tier, I would say. It's very heavy on munitions, but I would give it an A tier for that. The KV-8 as well. Next up, we have Armored Assault. Here we go. Armored Assault Tactics. Again, radio intercept, so that's great. You've got the T-34-85s, and also you've got the IS-2 in here. So for me, it feels a bit weird to have 85s and an IS-2. You kind of go for one or the other, you know, because both of them quite a fuel investment. If I'm going to go for an IS-2, I'd probably go for that along with T-34-76s, which are cheaper and more, you know, you can kind of do a bit more with those and kind of like throw them away to get decent trades. So I don't like the fact that you have 85s with an IS-2. It doesn't really make too much sense here. Vehicle crew repair training, great to keep your armor repaired. Then they've got the Sturmovik attacks as well. Overall, I'm not, and when it comes to the IS-2 itself, I think it's probably the worst heavy tank in the game, in my opinion. It seems to miss so much against infantry. It only starts to perform decently once it's got a couple of stripes of veterancy, and get it to veterancy 2 and above is quite challenging in itself. So I'd probably bring it down. Am I reading chat? I am reading chat. But yeah, I don't like the IS-2 personally. I'm going to pop this. This is probably not my... I'd probably pop this down to something like a B tier. It does have the radio intercept, which is pretty good. But yeah, it's kind of a B tier commander in my opinion. Right, then we have conscript support tactics. Right, where do we want to put conscript support tactics? Right, KV-1s, they're okay, but, you know, once like Panthers start rolling onto the field, they become kind of useless. They might have that early shock factor, but into the late game, they kind of really struggle. They're slow as well, so I'm not a massive fan of KV-1. Unlike KV-8, where KV-8 is very good at killing infantry, KV-1's kind of mediocre at killing vehicles and killing infantry, so it's not that great. Conscript's assaults package is kind of mediocre as well, with the conscript repair kit mid as well. Rapid conscription. That's, I guess it's, you know, if you go for a lot of conscripts and you do a big assault, you can then get free conscripts out of that. It's still kind of a mid kind of ability. Again, it's costing you munitions. Then you do have the 152mm artillery strike. That is pretty good in my opinion. To take out, you know, pack 43s, any big artillery pieces on the field, that's just pretty good. So that kind of makes it somewhat decent, but overall, I think it's a pretty bad commander. So I'll probably pop it down. Is it terrible though? I think it's somewhere like a D tier. Maybe E. It's not great. I might put it in E actually. I don't really rate it, to be honest, that much. Yeah, we'll probably put it in. Yeah, I think it's not an F because it has the artillery, but the rest of the abilities not that great. Right, then we have counterattack tactics. This guy over here. So here we have again the KV-1, which is kind of mid. Shocks though, they're elite, very good anti-infantry. Then you've got recon overflight. That's really good to give yourself vision for your teammates. So great in team games. You know, I guess good in 1v1 as well to give yourself vision if you need it. But, you know, this ability really excels in team games. And then you can, you know, you use that. It gives your teammates vision so they can drop their off map. So that's good. And also you can use it to spot for yourself for when you make a B4. So you can use that to then, you know, the recon overflight to then give vision for your B4s to be able to bomb targets. So that's pretty good. For Mother Russia, that's a kind of a mid ability. It's okay. Infantry run at increased speed. I guess, you know, in conjunction with the shocks, that could be quite nice. Get the shocks to get forward a bit faster. The B4 itself, it now fires... It used to fire like one really nasty shot, but then they nerfed it to like fire 3 mediocre shots, I think, if I remember correctly. It's okay as an artillery piece goes. Can get squad wipes. I'd probably... But the KV-1's not that good overall. I'd definitely rate higher than the conscript support tactics. I'm thinking, for me personally... Conscript counterattack tactics. Recon flight's good. I'm probably going to pop it on B tier. I think it's okay. Yeah, I think it's kind of a B tierish commander with the recon. I think it's okay. People saying maybe C. Right, defensive tactics. This commander. Right, this commander is very good. And for all good team games, in my opinion. I rate this quite highly. Dish to call in, really good, better version of a Maxim. The 120 hits super hard, drops a deep flare, which is great for vision. The little anti-tank gun, that's pretty shit, but it's, you know, you can call it in on a pinch and you haven't got to build tier 2 to have a little anti-tank gun, so that's good. You can also swap it over to, like, HE rounds, so it's damaging a little bit against infantry. Advanced fortifications, vehicle, again, you get the tank traps, the bunkers, the mines, that's okay. And then later on, you get the anti-tank Overwatch, so it's got a really good late-game ability. That, I think, you know, that you use a T-34, you ram into, like, a high-valued Axis tank, like a Tiger, King Tiger, or an Elephant, or whatever have you. And with that in combination, with the anti-tank Overwatch generally gets you the wipe on that heavy vehicle potentially. So that's a very good ability. Yeah, and you got that really good early game potential with those call-ins. So I'd rate this pretty good. Is it S tier? It's bare minimum A tier. I don't know if it's S tier though. The anti-tank Overwatch is pretty good. Let's put it in S tier for now, since we haven't got one there yet, and then we'll again, try and do a fair assessment overall. But I'm liking how good you've got the early game call-ins and stuff. Right, then we're on to guard motor coordination tactics. Now this one is in my loadout right now, and this is probably this is immediately S tier for me. This is a classic. Everybody. Guard motor has been around since the beginning, it feels like, and it is great all around. It is 100% S tier. T-34 85s, great. So you've got a good solid late game tank to use there. Guards as well, good anti-infantry. They got button. They can deal with light armor and can be handy later on against some medium tanks as well. The 120, again, as we discussed, great heavy-hitting mortar, deep flare as well for vision. Crude repairs, so you can keep your T-34s healthy. And then the Mark vehicle as well. Amazing to pop onto a big Axis tank so that you can get in there and smash it down and kill it very quickly with those T-34 85s. Only thing it's really lacking is like an off-map strike. But, I mean, you've kind of the mortar there is pretty damn hard hitting, and with Soviets you have Katyushas anyway, so you don't really need super long range artillery. So you've kind of got your bases already kind of accounted for in that regard. So I think easily S tier for guard motor coordination tactics for me. Right, next up we've got guard rifle combined tactics. This lad over here. Once again we have the KV1, which is fairly mid. Guards are good. Advanced fortifications mid. The ML20, pretty decent. I'm not a fan of, in general, I'm not a fan of static artillery, especially in team games when it's very, the high chances of somebody on the opposing team having some kind of off-map artillery, and then, all you need is any OKW player to call in a infrared half-trick and do the recon run it has with that, that kind of unit, and then they've got recon to then spot that artillery piece and then just drop artillery on it and take it out. It's not, so therefore I don't really rate any kind of static artillery very highly. So I kind of think that's kind of mid. The strafing one is also pretty mid. So I think this is not a good commander overall. I would give it. It does have guards though, but in my eyes, I think it's probably something like a D tier. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that one, I'm afraid. So put that in D tier. Right. Then we have Lend-Lease. Right, Lend-Lease, you get Shermans, M4C Shermans. They're pretty decent. You got the Dishka again. You got Assault Guard, so then you've got yourself a maybe Bazooka and an elite kind of squad potentially, or anti-infantry. The Ziz Supply Truck is okay, but what's the point in it really when you can just cash a point? The Conscious Repair Kit is also mid, but the Sherman, that Sherman's pretty good. It's not a call-in, you have to build it as well. So I think it's kind of mid commander overall. It's no off-map strike or recon either. So I'd put Lend-Lease as fairly mid. Probably actually C tier for Lend-Lease, I think. I don't think this is as good as the other ones. It does feel like it's a bit of a C tier. Yeah, the Shermans used to be fairly decent, but C tier. Yeah, no off-map or anything like that. No recon either. So, right, mechanized support. This guy. What do we think about mechanized support tactics? So we've got, your Zizgun ambushing is very nice. I do like that. That's a pretty good ability. Guards again are good. Mark vehicle again coming in clutch. IL-2 strafing run, that's kind of mid. But then you've got the ISU 152. You won't really see this in 1v1 too much, this commander being picked. But in team games, oh yes, ISU 152 is one of the best vehicles in the game. It, great HE rounds, and then you can switch over to armor piercing as well to kill other tanks. I'd probably put this up, this is maybe an S tier, I would say. This is a very good one. It has even an off-map strike, but it's not the best one, but it's something decent. Yeah, I'd probably put this as an S tier. Mechanized support goes up in S tier. It's got some really good things going for it. All right, and then we have NKVD rifle disruption tactics. I've been using this a lot recently, trying to do this 100 kill KV8 challenge. What do we think of this? I actually think this is pretty damn good commander. KV8, as we already suss, is one of the best tanks, I think. Anti-infantry, really good. Durable as well. Radio Intercept, a great ability, especially in team games. Let your teammates know exactly when enemy units are coming onto the field, when and where from. Commissar Squad, a great unit. On-map healing. Does propaganda war. Has some other abilities as well to buff up your infantry troops. Probably one of the best elite infantry squads in the game, I would say. And you can obviously pick up weapons as well. So Commissar's pretty damn sweet. Scorched Earth policy. Engineers can place traps on friendly points and prevents them from being captured. Desires resources. That's it's a pretty decent ability. It's not the best, but it's not bad, I guess. I don't really use it that much. Then we've got Anti-Tank Overwatch. Again, that, as we discussed previously, that's a great ability. Combined with T-34's a RAM, you can kill some big tanks. But yeah, I would say overall, this is probably A or S tier, I would say. Probably, why would we not put it in S tier? Hasn't got anything really, I don't know, can anybody think reasons why we wouldn't put this S tier? Commissar Squad hasn't got any anti-tank capability, which some of the other unit things, like guards have anti-tank capability, but it's got such good utility with the healing and for the propaganda war. I think that kind of overrides that or makes it as good. I think I'm going to put this S tier. Yeah, and you got SU-85s and Katyushas, yeah, I'm going to put it S tier. I think it's good. There we go, and NKVD Rifle Disruption Tactics going into S tier. Right, next up we have the Partisan Tactics. F. I think this is terrible. This is one of the worst commanders in the game. The only thing really going for it, it's a one-trick pony. As soon as you use Parsons, your opponent knows what you're doing. They'll then look out for you and make sure they've got scouting units. It's got no real good late game potential, just got marked vehicle target. The radio intercept is good, but it's pretty crap. I do not rate it. Partisan troops are one of the worst units in the game. They haven't got any real durability. They cost a lot of munitions to upgrade as well. I guess the AT gun ambush tactics are okay, and marked vehicle and the radio intercept's nice, but it's pretty goddamn average. For me, the spy network, you get a reveal enemy units for a short time, but I don't know, man. It's F or E tier. I'm not a fan of Partisan Tactics at all, to be honest. We'll leave it in F tier, and we'll maybe see if there's anything worse than that. If there's anything worse than that, then we'll put this up to F and then put the thing that's worse than that into here. But I don't know. For me, it's just, it's got really not too much good potential there. Right, then we're on to Shock Motor. So here we have shocks, which are great. Armored vehicle detection. Detect hostile vehicles with fog. Pretty okay. Kind of mid, though. Conscript mid. Conscript packet is mid. Everyone's mid. The ISU is great. I would probably put this in A tier, not S tier. ISU is good. Shocks are good. Strafe run's okay. ISU, good. Yeah, I'd probably put this A tier, I think. Shock motor. Shock motor is A or B tier, I think. Yeah, I think I'm going to put it there. I'll put it in A tier at the moment. Maybe change up. Right, then we've got Shock Rifle Frontline Tactics. This one over here. What do we think about this one, lads? So we got the KV-8. Great. We've got Anti-Tank Ambush Tactics. Great. Shocks. Great. Incendiary Barrage. Great. IS-2. Mid. I don't see... if you've got a KV-8 on the field, why would you really get an IS-2 to kill infantry? I'd probably go for a KV-8 and SU-85. Rather than just going for a KV and an IS-2. I think it's... I don't know. I feel like this is I want to say B tier. Because I'm not a fan of the IS-2 at all. It's pretty shit. Yeah. I'm going to put it in B tier. Shock Rifle was B tier. Then we're on to Soviet Combined Arms. Right, Genesis is saying S tier. A few of you guys saying S tier. Right, anti-tank ambush, sick. With guards, nice. Recon overflight, great. With the IL-2 bombing strike, amazing. So you don't have to rely on anybody. If you've got enough munitions, you can recon overflight, then IL-2 bombing strike yourself. That is super good. Then you've got the howitzer. Again, I'm not a massive fan of them, but with the other abilities and stuff in the game, it's pretty damn good. So I'm thinking it's A or S tier. A recon overflight, being able to spot for yourself and then drop the bomb is really nice. Very expensive munitions-wise, though. Yeah, I'm going to put this S tier. The bombing run is very nice. Then we're on to Soviet Industry. Right, so this is an interesting one. KV8, as we already discussed, amazing. Repair stations, actually an S tier ability, especially in team games. Not maybe in 1v1, but in team games, being able to drop repair stations, and it's the only commander in the game, I think, that can give, for Soviets at least, that can drop down repair stations. And that those repair stations will repair all allied units as well. Really nice. Supply truck, pretty mid. Recon overflight, though, good. And then you got later on KV2. Now, the KV2 can lock down and lob nice shells over, and it's pretty decent. I wouldn't say it's the... I'd probably prefer an ISU, honest, over a KV2. I think most people already would. But it's okay. It's not great, though, the KV2, to be honest. It's kind of mid, to be fair. I don't know. I think I'm gonna put this A tier. S for Lady Commander. I think it's A. Repair station is good in KV8, it's good in the Recon Overflight, but KV2 is kind of mid. There's no kind of off-map artillery strike either going for this. The supply truck's pretty crap. I think it's kind of A. Yeah, I'm going to put you in A at the moment. A tier for Soviet industry. Right, Soviet Reserve. Who do we have here? Right, Commissar's good. Conscript Assault Package mid. Team Weapon drop. Is that dropping a Maxim and a Ziz gun? That's okay. It's pretty good. You can drop that for allies again, so good for a teammate ability. Rapid Conscription is pretty mid, and the Howitzer is pretty mid, though. So I'd say this has been very, yeah, overall I'd give it maybe C rank Soviet. Is it as good? It does have the cave. It's got the... no. I mean, the officer is good, but... no good tank in there either, so I'm gonna drop it down to maybe D. Team weapon drop is good though, so we'll put it into D tier. Alright, we'll just do this one. So Soviet Shock Army. T-3485, great. 120, great. Shock's great. Armor detection, good. Then you got a nice off-map artillery strike as well to take down big artillery in the back. I'd say this is A tier at least. Is it S tier? Pretty good. B. S or B? How could you go S or B? A or B? Lacking an anti-tank. I mean, there's no marked target. So the 85s are not going to have the easiest time. Doesn't scale for late game. Yeah, the marked target's not there. I'm going to put this in A tier, I think. Alright. Soviet Shock Army's going there. Alright, then we're on to Tank Hunter Tactics. Right, what do we think of this one? This one's not a very common one used. Conscripts with PTRS package. Okay. Light anti-tank and fortifications, fairly mid. Tank Hunter Ambush. All mobile anti-tank crews and other vehicles can gain camouflage themselves to avoid detection. That's kind of nice. B4s, again, it's a static artillery place, easy to get bombarded. The anti-tank bombing run. That could be pretty damn good if you do a T-34 ram, combine it with the strafe, with the bombing run on top of it. You can maybe take out some decent heavy. But overall, not enough anti-infantry firepower in this. You know, nothing really good against too much against infantry here. So that's going to bring it down. It's not kind of an all-round. It's kind of specifically, you can pick this if you want to go kill tanks. I mean, it's in the name, Tank Hunters. So I'm probably going to put it down to maybe something like a B tier. Yeah, B tier, maybe even a C tier. Tank Hunters. Not enough anti-infantry. Yeah, let's put it down actually to C tier. Tank Hunter. Right, then we have Terror Tactics. Right? Ooh, this is good. Terror Tactics is good. KV8, hell yeah. Airborne Guard troops, pretty damn decent infantry. Fear Prop. So you got an area denial to push infantry away. You got the artillery, which is kind of mid, but then you got the bombing strike, which is great to clear map. So I would probably put this in S tier because of that. I'm seeing chat agree. People are also saying S tier. Yeah. Very nice. Yeah, let's pop that up to S tier. Terror Tactics is S. And then, we've already got shot motor, so we've only got urban defense left. So urban defense, okay, what have we got here? I think this is fairly mid, I would say. The forward HQ, that's only useful up until a certain point, until all the ambient buildings get destroyed, then it becomes completely useless. Although you can build a forward HQ, which is okay. They're not terrible. Little anti-tank guns fairly mid. Shock troops are good. Booby trap territory mid. KV2 is mid. Yeah, I would say this is C tier, something like that maybe for this one. Urban defense feels like it's a C tier commander. And I guess there we have it, boys. That's your Soviet tier list. What do you guys think? Do you agree or disagree? I think how many? So we got 6 S tier commanders overall. I think that's pretty good. I think some really good ones in there. Yeah, partisan tactics. I think it deserved to stay in F, to be honest. We needed something to go in F tier, and it's probably that. It's just got no real late game potential, really, apart from mark target. But that's really it.
So guys, that's the end of the video, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did and want more content, check up over here and over here. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, make sure to click the button down here. To catch the next video, guys, take care, and I'll see you soon.